Before the end of days came, I secured my escape seat using the mermaid baby I had given birth to, successfully obtaining clearance to leave the planet. The fake heiress married off to the Tiger Clan, didn't even qualify for the lottery. The day we boarded the ship, Victoria used saying goodbye as an excuse, and caused harm to my baby mermaid, then stabbed a blade through my heart. Opening my eyes again, I returned to the day we selected our husbands. Victoria wanted to choose the mermaid right away, hoping to use the mermaid baby to escape Blue Star. She must have forgotten. The Tiger Clan is the endangered species across the galaxy. I should marry the mermaid prince instead. Right when I opened my eyes, I heard Victoria's delicate voice. That's when I realized I had been reborn to the same day. As Victoria selecting her husband, watching her face full of confidence, I knew she had been reborn too. I was switched at birth by a nurse, and only returned to the family at 18. But my parents felt bonded after raising her for so long, and weren't willing to send her back. Instead they made her a foster daughter, and had me call her sister. The husbands we had to marry. One was simple but wealthy, a Tiger Clan member with both parents deceased. The other was a noble and strict mermaid prince. My parents tried hard to convince me to marry the mermaid prince. Your sister feels guilty for taking your life and wronging you, so she's letting you have this great opportunity instead. You must remember her kindness. At first I really thought Victoria had a change of heart, but later I found out that marrying a mermaid meant you had to transform into one, and follow them down to the deep sea. The first step was ingesting the mermaid clan's secret potion. The pain was comparable to childbirth. The ocean floor was always dark, and the technology was still primitive. My parents worried Victoria couldn't adapt, so they had me, who grew up in poverty, marry instead. After all, I grew up in a poor place, so there wouldn't be much of a difference for me. 2 months later, torrential rains descended, destroying all communication systems. My parents were trapped on the roof, with no food or water. The Tiger Clan member went out in the storm to find help for Victoria, but ran out of strength along the way. Victoria and my parents were transferred to a cruise ship, where they could only eat what others shared. After the rains came plague, and after plague came blizzards. The world froze over, and many people perished. Victoria was moved to the underground city. For 10 years, Victoria became skin and bones. Then naturalists announced that Blue Star was no longer habitable for any life. The Federation had built spaceships to find a new home. The ships could only hold so many people, and boarding requirements were extremely strict. Only those who made huge contributions during the crisis could qualify for the lottery. Spots are limited. Please submit applications quickly. Victoria and my parents had no contributions, so they could only wait to die in the underground city. Then, they saw in the news that I had given birth to a rare mermaid baby, who received blessings from the entire ocean clan. Thanks to this baby, I got a direct boarding pass. That's when they realized neither the rains nor the blizzards had affected the ocean life at all. While they waited for scraps of food, I was living comfortably in the ocean for 10 years. They were furious, so the day before boarding they said they wanted to see me one last time. After I let them in, my parents grabbed both my arms, and Victoria hurt my fragile mermaid baby on the ground, then drove a blade into my chest. Thinking of my mermaid baby, my heart ached. She was so small and so understanding. She had just learned to call me mommy. I looked at Victoria, wishing I could end her. When I heard Victoria choose the mermaid, my parents were shocked. They thought Victoria had forgotten the main requirement, so they frantically signaled her. Why not think this through more carefully? You've always had poor circulation. If you have to live in the ocean, your body probably won't handle it. Marrying the mermaid is just temporary suffering, but I've already decided I'm marrying the mermaid. When my parents saw her determination, they finally agreed. Then they turned to me and said, marrying the mermaid comes with a lot of pain. Your sister is just looking out for you. You have to remember her kindness. This sounded so familiar. I just nodded along. I'll remember. But in my heart I hoped they would hurry off with the mermaid servants to the ocean. Victoria thought she could escape the apocalypse in the ocean and live a heavenly life. She didn't know that the servant wasn't a mermaid prince at all. The mermaid clans had severe prejudice. Humans who transform into mermaids later were considered the lowest class. The servant and his family were meant to serve all other mermaids. On the night Victoria transformed, her screams echoed throughout the entire residence. When I transformed in my past life, my parents were completely indifferent. They wouldn't even look at me. But this time they waited outside Victoria's room, with my mother crying the whole time. My father asked if Noah could use painkillers. I got into Leo's car. Before leaving, I looked back at the house I'd lived in for 10 years. My parents were still worried, and Victoria didn't even bother coming to say goodbye. I waited a few minutes, and felt completely let down. Let's go. The 10 years I spent with the mermaid clans in my past life were the darkest decade of my existence. I was classified as the lowest class mermaid. Even my sleep was rationed. Every mermaid in the ocean was considered superior to me. Anyone could look down on me. When my husband Noah faced challenges from other mermaids, sometimes to please the higher class mermaids, he would send me to their beds. Compared to all that, I would much rather have lived in the underground city.